Hey guys, what's up? It's Dan Lags. Welcome back, guys. Week 4 NFL picks. It's college football Saturday. You can see the college football scores up here. You know it's Saturday right now. This is proof. West Virginia is up on Texas Tech right now, 35-27 in the fourth. We're going to have to watch that game unfold on the scoreboard as we go through these picks. But anyway, guys, let's talk about week 4. But first, let's talk about week 3. I had a good week last week. I got 9 right out of 16, so I was pretty happy about that. Had a nice bounce back week. Some of my good picks included picking Buffalo against the spread with that huge spread against the Vikings. That was a shocking game for the Buffalo to win by such a large amount. And then one of my bad picks, I would say, was probably Green Bay against the Redskins. I was high on the Redskins for the first couple weeks, and then I'm higher on the Packers, I guess you could say. But it occurred to me that the Packers without Aaron Rodgers, they're kind of just a bad team without Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers is not 100% right now, so you know that he can only do so much, especially when his leg, he probably has like a partially torn ACL, and he's just playing through it right now. But yeah, anyway, so I had a good week last week, got 9 wins, got above 50% correct for the first time, so that was cool against the spread. So we're going to try to have another good week this week and have some nice picks. So I have some credibility a little bit now, I guess, and we're starting to establish which teams are good, which teams aren't. But I did look through this week's picks, and there are some tough games to choose from. So let's go through them. Starting off here with the Rams and the Vikings. This game already happened on Thursday night. I actually did pick the Rams in this game, so I'm already 1-0 this week. The Rams won by 7, and the line was 6.5. So just barely covered that spread over the Vikings. And the Vikings are in an identity crisis right now. I feel like the Vikings they came into the season as a favorite to be a Super Bowl contender, and now they're looking kind of just like an average team, maybe like 8-8, something like that. I mean, they have a tie, so I guess like what, 7-8-1 or 8-7-1, something like that. They don't really look that good. And I got to admit, the Rams look real good. So we'll see what happens with them moving forward if they can continue this and maybe put together like a really nice like 13-3 or 14-2 season and try to get to the Super Bowl. But let's go ahead and get into the picks. First game, we have the Bengals and the Falcons. And last week I said I was going to ride the Bengals until they lost, and they did lose. So I am going to be picking the Falcons this week. I think the Falcons are probably one of the best 1 and 2 teams in the league. To me, they've had a tough schedule. They've played the Saints, the Panthers, and the Eagles in the first 3 weeks. All 3 of those teams made the playoffs last year. So, and of course the Super Bowl champs. So the Falcons I think are a good team. I'm actually going to pick them to cover that spread of 4 against the Bengals. I expect them to win that game by a touchdown at home. Next up, we have the Buccaneers and the Vikings, or Buccaneers and the Bears. I don't know why I said Vikings. The Buccaneers are getting 3 points against the Bears at home. So the Bears are favored by 3. Like I said, this is a tough game for me because, you know, the Vikings are, I don't know why I keep saying the Vikings. The Buccaneers came down to earth a little bit against the Steelers last week. Fitzpat Pick. Is that his like bad nickname, or is Fitztragic? That's right. Yeah, he didn't look too good in the first half. He did turn around in the second half. I still think the Buccaneers are a pretty good team, but I think the Bears are going to win that game. I like their defense. I'm not going to lie. Khalil Mack on that defense, along with some of those other players that they have. The Bears have a good defense. It's not the 85 Bears, but it's the 2018 Bears. I could see the Bears sneaking into the playoffs. They're actually a pretty decent team. I could see them winning that division. We'll see what happens going forward in that division. That's going to be an interesting one. Next up, we have the Cowboys and the Lions. Cowboys favored by 3 at home against the Lions. I'm taking Detroit. I actually picked the Cowboys initially in my first run through of the picks, but I'm actually going to flip here. I'm changed my mind. I'm going to go with the Lions. I just don't know about the Cowboys. The Cowboys are one of those teams where I'm not sure about them yet. The Lions are coming off a big win against New England. I could see them riding that momentum. The Cowboys, I believe, lost to the Seahawks last week, I'm pretty sure. To me, I just don't know about the Cowboys yet. I need to see more from them. I'm just not sold on Dak Prescott. I just don't think he's that good. And Ezekiel Elliott can only take you so far. They do have a nice defense, though. That's a tough game, but I am going to go with the Lions. So even if the Cowboys win by 1, I still get that one right. All right, here we go. Next one, we got the Packers and the Bills. I'm actually going to take the Bills here. The Packers, that's a big line of 9.5, and I've noticed that line has been creeping down as the week has gone on. The lines do change as the week goes on, depending on like what people are picking with Vegas. But I am going to stick with the Bills here. Last week I picked the Bills against a big number, and I'm going to do the same thing this week against an NFC North opponent as well on the road. The Bills have, I mean, if you look at this schedule at the beginning of the year, Bills had at Vikings, at Packers, back-to-back weeks, and they might come out of there 2-0. I could see the Bills winning this game. That would be pretty incredible. So I'm going to pick the Bills. I'm not saying they're going to win, but even if the Packers win by a touchdown, I still get that one right. Next up, we have the Titans and the Eagles. I don't even know if Marcus Mariota is going to play. I know he played last week against the Jacksonville. That was a really surprising game, by the way, that the Titans were able to beat the Jaguars. But I'm going to pick the Super Bowl champ Eagles here. Carson Wentz is starting to get back into the rhythm of things. And, when Carson Wentz is healthy, I think he's one of the top 3 best quarterbacks in the NFL. He's right up there with Drew Brees, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. He's like right in that group when he's healthy. So I think that he'll start to get better coming back from the knee injury. And I think that the Eagles are going to win that game. They'll start to establish themselves. The Eagles are a good team. I don't expect them to have a Super Bowl letdown after they won last year. I still think they're going to make the playoffs and be a good team. All right, next game, I should say, not next year. We have the divisional matchup of the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts in Indianapolis, with the Colts favored by 1. I said this last week. The Texans are in dire need for a win. They got beat by the Giants, which the Giants were 0-2 as well. So the Texans, to me, they're just not that good of a team. I'm going to pick the Colts here. At home, they're favored by 1. It's a favorable line for the Colts. I could see Andrew Luck throwing it to T.Y. Hilton, get a couple touchdowns up there, and win that game. I can't pick an 0-3 team. I haven't seen anything from the Texans that leads me to pick them, especially in a road game. They're 0-2 on the road, so they're not a good road team. So I'm going to pick the Colts here. Next up, we have the big game. This is actually a surprisingly big game, because if the Dolphins win, they'll be 3 games up on the Patriots after the first month. That would be pretty amazing. But with that being said, I'm picking New England. I can't pick against New England here at home. Divisional matchup. I know the Dolphins have given the Patriots trouble in the past, but it's typically when it's in Miami. So I am going to pick Patriots here. I always pick the Patriots. It's just a law of averages. I'm taking them again. They're favored by 6.5, so if they win the game by a touchdown, I'll get that one right. I'm picking New England. Next up, we have the Jets and the Jags in Jacksonville. Jags favored by 7.5. I'm picking the Jets. I'm going with my team. I know the Jets haven't looked that good. We got a rookie quarterback going up against that nasty Jaguars defense, so it's probably going to be a low-scoring, ugly game. Not fun to watch at all. It's going to stress me out severely. But I am going to pick the Jets. Even if the Jaguars win by a touchdown, I still get that one right. But I actually do think the Jets have a puncher's chance to win this game, especially after what I saw from the Jags last week. If Blake Bortles plays the way he did last week, we have a chance. I mean, the Jaguars, that's how they roll. Their defense is amazing. But if Blake Bortles plays bad, anybody can beat them. If Blake Bortles plays lights out, they might be the best team in the NFL. So it depends on how Blake Bortles plays. He's so hit or miss. If we see the Blake Bortles 2 weeks ago, the Jets will probably get blown out. If we see the Blake Bortles of last week, like I said, the Jets have a chance. So I'm going to pick the Jets here just because I can't trust Blake Bortles. Doesn't mean I think the Jets are going to win, but that's a big line, and I'm comfortable with the Jets pick there. Next up, we have the Browns and the Raiders. Boy, oh boy, this is a couple of teams right here. Raiders are in a train wreck right now. They have no pass rush because they traded Khalil Mack. I don't know what John Gruden's doing. I'm going to pick the Raiders, though. Here's why. The Jets didn't get a chance to game plan against Baker Mayfield last week. Jets are so freaking dysfunctional. It's unbelievable. They didn't plan for Baker Mayfield. Like, they even said it, too. Jamal Adams literally came out and said that they didn't prepare for Baker Mayfield. I don't understand how Todd Bowles still has his job. But anyway, enough about the Jets. The Browns, they have some film now on Baker Mayfield for the Raiders to kind of put together a game plan for his strengths and give him some coverages, give him some looks he hasn't seen. I expect Baker Mayfield, he's going to turn the ball over a couple times. I think the Raiders are going to get their first win at home. It's going to be a raucous crowd. The Black Hole is always a tough place to play. So the Browns, I don't think the Browns are quite ready for a win streak yet. So I'm going to pick the Raiders. Next up, we have the Seahawks and the Cardinals here. I'm trying to get it to a position where it's not covering up the whole box, but I don't want to use the little side thing. Well, how about we do this? There we go. That's good. We'll use the arrow keys. All right. So anyway, we have the Seahawks and the Cardinals here. Cardinals might be the worst team in the NFL. Seahawks are favored by 3 on the road. I think they won last week against the Cowboys, if I remember correctly. I'm gonna go with the Seahawks here. I don't think they're done just yet. I don't think they're a good team. But the Cardinals, to me, this is a battle of 2 bad teams, to be honest. But I think the Seahawks are going to pull this one out. I just haven't seen anything from the Cardinals. They're actually going to be starting Josh Rosen, which is definitely a step in the right direction because I think he's going to be really good eventually. Not right away. He's probably going to turn the ball over a little bit. All rookie quarterbacks do it. And I expect the Seahawks to win that game and cover that spread. All right, let's pick up the pace here a little bit. We're rambling a little bit too much. Here we go. We got the Giants and the Saints. Giants at home. Saints are favored by 3.5. I'm picking the Giants. I can see the Saints winning that game by 3. I can honestly see the Giants winning that game, so I'm going to go with the Giants. Next up, we have the 49ers and the Chargers. Chargers favored by 10.5 in LA. It's probably going to be a home game for the 49ers pretty much. I think the 49ers will rally around C.J. Beathard now that Jimmy Garoppolo is hurt. I think they'll rally around this guy, because they've been snake-bitten by injuries. The 49ers are snake-bitten by injuries. It's crazy. They've gotten the most injuries in the NFL so far. And I will pick the Niners here. I don't think they're going to win this game, but I can't pick a 10.5 spread, especially on a 1-2 team like the Chargers. I know the Chargers are probably a pretty good team. Their record is always bad in the beginning of the year, and they end up being a good team. But I just can't pick the Chargers here with that 10.5 line. I could see them winning by 10, though, so I'm going to pick the Niners. Next up, we got this is a great Sunday night game. We got the Steelers and the Ravens, classic rivalry. One of the best rivalries in the NFL. Probably the best rivalry in the NFL. It's probably out there with Packers, Bears. If the Jets were any good, it would be Jets-Patriots, but it's really not a rivalry. It feels like a rivalry to me because I can't stand the Patriots, but in terms of an overall rivalry in the NFL, this is probably one of the best ones here, Steelers and Ravens. Steelers favored by 3 at home. I'm picking the Steelers. I like what I saw with them last week on offense. I think they could keep the ball rolling there. Just feed the ball to Antonio Brown, hand the ball up to James Conner, trade Le'Veon Bell to the Jets for a 4th-round pick. Wait, what did I? Never mind. I think the Steelers here are going to win this game and cover that spread. Next up, we have the Monday night game. This is actually the last game of the week. And we actually have 2 teams on the bye week in week 4. I didn't know the bye started this early, but we got some bye week 4. Sorry about the shadow on my face from the window. Sorry about that, guys. It is fall, so the sun starts to set earlier in the day. Feels bad, man. Winter is coming. But anyway, let's get this last game in. Chiefs and Broncos. You know what? Chiefs are favored by 4.5. You know what? I'm picking the Broncos. Patrick Mahomes has got to come down to earth eventually. There's no way he can keep up this pace. It's a road game for the Chiefs. It's going to be in a tough divisional matchup. The Broncos. I think this has a chance to be one of those games where the Broncos could sneak in and win this one. But this is not one I feel good about at all. But I am going to pick the Broncos. That being said, the Chiefs. No, I'm changing my pick. I'm picking the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to blow the Broncos out. I'm not going to beat around the bush here. The Chiefs are one of the best teams in the NFL. Their offense is insane. I think they'll probably win this game something like 28-17. So that covers the spread. I'm picking the Chiefs. All right, that's it, guys. I'm not feeling super confident about my picks this week, but I wasn't feeling that confident last week, and I actually had a good week. So we'll see what happens, and hopefully a lot of my picks are correct. Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the NFL games if you're into it, obviously. Thank you for tuning in to another week of NFL picks. We're 4 weeks in, and I haven't quit yet, so that's a good sign. I'll see you guys next week for week 5. Peace out, everybody.